I'm Gregg Barnes, and I'm the costume designer for Disney's Aladdin on Broadway. The story of Aladdin takes place in the fictional city of Agrabah, and it's a place where, in our imagination, it's like on the spice route. So all cultures converge in this place. And we get to meet people in a marketplace, we get to meet people in a fabulous palace. We have the high, we have the low, and everything in between. We used Orientalism, which is a Victorian genre. We used modern imagery. We looked at the Cotton Club in Harlem. So it spans literally ancient sort of research up until really today. We looked at crazy modern wedding dresses that have sort of a belly dance vibe and mix-mastered all of that into what I hope is a cohesive visual package. The images that we have pinned up here on the wall are all things that we use to inspire the artists that made the clothes. And I think you can tell as you reference them that some of them are from Northern Africa, Morocco, some of them are from the Middle East, some of them are from India. So we really did try to honor the feeling of this village that is really fed by all these cultures coming together. This costume is worn by one of Jasmine's attendants in the palace, and it's a good example of a lot of techniques coming together. The beading on the bodice is all done by hand. You can see it looks like she's naked. This part is her skin tone, but it has all this beautiful beading on it. And the belt is heavily beaded. And then the skirt is actually hand painted. If you see this motif that runs along the hip. And what we tried to do with the painting in the palace was we didn't use anything organic. There's nothing from the natural world because it was forbidden to depict animals, plants, that kind of thing. So anyway, all of these graphics come from that sort of geometric world of architecture, actually. In the film, the genie, as we all know, is a blue character, and he's very simply drawn, and our actor is not blue, so we made the costume blue, and we tried to reinforce the idea that you are enslaved, even though it's a very rich-looking costume. So it has this sort of collar. We have beaded bracelets that go on top of this sleeve, and these are meant to almost look like a kind of livery, so that when he's released at the end of the play from his bondage, he wears a Hawaiian shirt. He's as simple as he can be. This costume is also engineered to be able to, you can see the sleeves here are attached really to a t-shirt that we purchase. So this part can be washed every day, and on a two-show day we have many of these t-shirts. So that's one of the practical ways we keep things fresh. This is a good example of how we help a character transition from being a street rat, a poor character, into a prince. And basically, in the marketplace, there's a lot of rich surface texture, and it's busy with like pattern, and it's meant to almost overwhelm you maybe a bit. The Aladdin character himself is actually in the simplest garment in the marketplace so that we can help the audience focus on the person who is mainly propelling our story. And so he has these very simple raw silk pants that we painted with patches and latched yarn into to give them some surface texture. And he has this very simple vest that's made out of parts of an Indian tapestry that we found. So through the help of the genie, Aladdin is transformed into a prince, and he goes to woo the princess. Once again, you can see that actually the pants are quite simple. They're just a really beautiful piece of fabric that have an elaborately hand-beaded side panel. This is for the wedding at the end of the play, and even though these are royal characters, we used you can see this is some kind of a lily or a crocus. We actually started to use natural forms in the artwork for the finale, so it's sort of like the poor world and the wealthy world coming together. I think the job of everybody behind the scenes is to tell the story, to help the actors who are telling the story, lift them up and support them in that job. So the costumes are meant to be lavish, and they're meant to be to conjure a lot of different exotic places and a time. But really, at the end of the day, the job is for us to help a genie be a genie and a princess be a princess. And at the very heart of the story, to help the actor playing Aladdin, Adam Jacobs, go from being a street rat, a beggar with nothing, to being a prince.